everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Today the company Knorr and Raihana's Cuisines have joined to bring you an amazing homemade Hakka noodles. Hakka noodles has been on top of my list, and I have been working with this recipe for a while until I got a hold of Knorr bullion cubes. I did it with these for my test recipes and the kids went berserk. I'm seriously telling you, we had some friends over, they tried it and they all loved it. So I myself absolutely loved the product. You do get the bouillons in chicken flavor and in beef flavor. So for the month of Ramadan, Knorr and Raihana's Cuisines have joined to bring you a recipe every single week. So for 4 weeks, you're gonna be having a new recipe coming up every Wednesdays using the Knorr bouillons. So without further ado, let's get started. We are going to be using the Knorr chicken flavored bouillon. And for this recipe, what I have done is I have put one of the bouillons here in a bowl, and I added about 2-3 tablespoons of water, and I completely dissolved it in water so it doesn't have any cubes in there. So we're going to be using that into our Hakka noodles. So olive oil we're going to use some sambal, we're going to use thick soy sauce. Now there's a difference between thick soy sauce and regular soy sauce. So for this recipe, make sure you get the thick soy sauce because it's going to change the appearance and the taste if you don't. So thick soy sauce is here, and then I also always have lots of questions on the soy sauce that I use. I have stopped using all soy sauces. I only use this brand. Absolutely love this soy sauce. The soy sauce, the thick soy sauce, the sambal, everything should be available in your Asian store. As far as the Knorr bouillons, they are available online, or you can also check your local Indian grocery store or Mediterranean grocery store, and they should have these. Now, the other thing also we're going to be using in that is about 1.5 pounds of shredded chicken. Now, if you want to see how I did this, I will put a link up here on the left showing you the video, because I just did a video to show you how I did it. Make sure you go ahead and check that. Now, as far as my veggie ingredients, this is what I have chosen, and this is what we loved in the house when I did the recipe. So I've got here 2 bunches of spring onions. Out of that, I have reserved a little bit of just the green onions that I will be using to garnish this dish. We're not going to be using all of it. I probably just use about 1 tablespoon or so. I have here 1 red bell pepper that I sliced and then diagonally cut it. I've got some green bell peppers there. I used slivered carrots. I tried using the shredded carrots, and when you shred them at home, they're just a little bit too soft, so it kind of doesn't give you that crunch that this Hakka noodles needs. I also have about 1.5 cups of thinly sliced cabbage. We're going to be adding that in the end to maintain the crispiness. Now, I went out and I bought a whole different noodles, and I want to show you all of them because I'm sure I'm going to have questions. These are the dried noodles. You can use dried noodles. They come also, you can get them thin. You can get them thick, like so. Now, the other thing that is super easy to make with this recipe is buying the pre-boiled. These will be available at your Asian store in the refrigerator section. You can use the thicker noodle here, or you can do the thinner noodle. Now, I'll tell you, yesterday I did, yesterday and the day before, I did a couple recipes where when I was playing around with the recipe, and I actually wanted to try using fettuccine noodles that you get in a box. I used it, and to me, I could not tell the difference between these kind of noodles or the fettuccine, and it tasted amazing. Also, the other thing is, if you buy the ready-made noodles, these only need to go in boiling water for 60 seconds and you're done. So this dish can be like a really quick dish if you have all this cut up and ready to go and you have your shredded chicken in the freezer. So now we're gonna need a wok, and this is gonna be very quick. So got my wok really nice and hot. To that, I'm gonna go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. In the olive oil, I really like to flavor it, so I'm gonna go ahead and add about a teaspoon of fresh ginger and garlic. I'm just gonna quickly cook the ginger and garlic just a little bit to take out the raw taste. All right, now goes in our, see, once we get just a little bit of color on it, we're gonna start adding our veggies, which is gonna be the spring onions, carrots. I've got all my veggies in here except for the cabbage, because that we're gonna add last. You just wanna stir fry these until where you think your family is gonna like the crispiness of this, of your veggies, all right? Once we give this about a couple minutes, I'm gonna add the chicken in there. So at this point, now what you wanna do is you wanna add your noodles in a bowl, and they are crispy. So this is why we need only 60 seconds of very, very hot water. Right, so now this is gonna be here soaking for about a minute in hot water. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken stock bouillon in here. And I wanna get every bit of it, because I'm telling you, the flavor that this bouillon has is just amazing. And why I'm doing this, I'm just trying to get all my bouillon out from there, all right? This is going to be a great flavor. In goes my sambal. Sambal, thick soy sauce, regular soy sauce, mix. Chow noodles. Now, if you feel like your noodles are way too big, just take your scissors and just snip it, just like that. And then again, we're gonna give it a good mix. Okay. See how beautiful color that is? I'm also gonna give this a try, because if it's not too salty, I'm going to go ahead and add a bit more thick soy sauce in there. A little bit of olive oil on there. This is going to help it not stick together and be really, really nice. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that looks. All right. This time I'm also going to now go ahead and add my cabbage in there lastly. So I've got my Hakka noodles already in the serving dish. And lastly, I'm going to be adding even more sliced cabbage in there to give it that fresh crispiness, and that's completely up to you if you would like to add it or not. And then we're going to be garnishing it with the spring onions. Now, when I start eating this, I usually like to top it off with a sweet chili sauce. Any kind will do. If you like the sweetness in it, my husband prefers to have it more spicy. I prefer to have a little bit of sweetness in it, so it's completely up to you. And so when you are out shopping, do not forget to pick up the bouillons, the Knorr flavor bouillon, the new Knorr bouillons, because also make sure you pick up the beef ones too, because I am also going to be doing another recipe that will have the beef bouillon in there, and then also the chicken bouillon. So let's go ahead and mix all this up, and then we are all done. Let's give this a taste test. I don't want to get my plate ready because it's almost time for dinner. So I'm just going to get a little bit. I want to try the chicken as well because I think the chicken is going to be so full of flavor. But I want to see if get a little bit of everything. This is fantastic. When you're making it, if you feel like your noodles are still not a little bit more on the hard side, cover it. The steam will cook the noodles, but also don't cook it too much because the texture is just amazing. And I think that using the Knorr chicken stock in here has made all the difference. So make sure you check out my other recipes that will be coming all this week, all this month of Ramadan, featuring the Knorr product. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great recipe. See you then, friends.